Howdy. This is where I finished off last time, and these were the errors I had made on the pant legs. This one had too much excess at top, and I cut it back, but that's not right. I don't like that. And same as this one, I cut it back, but I cut it inaccurately. So what I'm going to do, excuse me, is just cut it square, like straight, and then get some more muslin and copy the straight ones, so my next ones will be better than these ones. And then what I'm going to do with the next ones is I'm not going to make them full length pant legs. I'm going to make them like short pant legs, and then use them, maybe like 2 or 3 of them like that, to learn how to put zippers on. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm pretty sure that is where I want to be, just like that. So I'll get the rotary cutter, hold my square down nice and firm, and rotary cut. That'll make out pretty good. It came right off. Well, I guess all I'm going to do is cut this piece off, straighten it out. Line up the carpenter's square. Hold it down. Cool. So now I'm going to get some muslin. I'm not sure if I like that or not. You know what, I don't. I'm going to straighten this one right out. Straighten it right out like that. Cool. Okay, so now I've decided that I'm going to cut the legs off, these other pant legs, that I kind of messed up in learning. pretty good. So that's my one. And this one over here is going to be the other one. So, you know, it is a lot of making mistakes and redoing, but there's a lot of learning in that making mistakes and redoing process. That's what I'm finding. So it's just a matter of, you know, having to hang in here, figure it out, learn from the errors, and go forward from there. And I'll get the carpenter's square again. Shifted a bit. Oh well, I'll leave it right there. Cool. So now I've got my two pieces cut. So all I got to do is make sure that I've got a good straight edge on a couple of sides. And that's pretty good there. And I'm trying to make sure that when I cut with this rotary cutter, that I keep it very perpendicular to the base, so that I'm not pushing the carpenter's square out of the way or causing it to go crooked. Let's get that out of there. Good. Good. Now I gotta get this lower piece done. Just like that. There. So that's that one. Let's see how this one is. You know what, I really don't need all of that. So I'll cut it off right down at the bottom here. Yes, just like that. So that's an extra for something else, for pockets or whatever. Cool. So now I'm going to rip this zipper out of here, because I'm going to reuse it. Nice. I get the red ball right there, right underneath the thread. Okay, so I got the white thread. Did I get it all? There's a bit here. There. Now I've got to get the orange thread. Cool. Good. Got the red ball underneath. Beautiful. wrapped it up real good. Cool, man. Cool. So now I can use this zipper on those two pieces I just cut. There's a guy on YouTube I was watching. His channel is called TOCK Custom, T-O-C-K, Custom. So I watch him a bit. Then there's another guy called E-Nothing, I think, or E-Nuff. I'll check and put it in the description when I'm done the video. But those were the two that I kind of went to check for zippers this time. There's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of girls and guys that I watch how they're doing zippers. But it finally got to the point where I had to stop watching and start doing more. I mean, watching's good, but doing's better. Into the garbology they go. What else did I want to do? There was a loose thread coming off the bottom here. A loose strand. So I've been trying to save money. So I've been watching a guy on YouTube called Dave Ramsey, the Dave Ramsey Show. So if you're trying to save money and budgeting and stuff, it's a pretty good place for me to go. It encourages me, it inspires me to not spend any coin, not spend any money. I'm really surprised, you know, when I get really intentional with, you know, writing lists of what I need to spend and making sure that I don't spend on what I don't need to spend. It's really cool how much the money starts to slowly pile up a little bit. And it does help me sleep better at night, knowing that I did a good job not spending. I was watching one gal, and she's rich. She's in London, England. And real nice gal. I think her folks were East Indian, like from India. But, you know, and she looks like her mom and dad. She's a pretty girl. She looks nice. But I think she was raised in London, England. You know, she has a real full-blown English accent. And I watch her too because she's pretty inspiring, saying how you gotta really be intentional about money because, you know, human beings basically like to spend. It's fun to spend money, even when you don't have any. That's in my case. And I mean, I know I'm not alone. But if you get on there and watch some of those shows, it'll make you feel better about yourself. It really will. Because there's some people that's like, how could you do that? You know? But I turn it back on myself. It's like when I find myself looking on these financial shows saying, how could you do that? It's like, well, wait a second, you know who else does that? Moi. But what was my point with Nisha, the girl from London, England? So the point about Nisha, the girl from London, England, she was saying on one of her videos that if you can pay off your debt, if you can get that done, it'll make you feel better than if you were making like a lot of money, like $200,000 a year. And I believe her because she's young, she's in her 30s, and she's a millionaire. Now, she was an accountant, and she worked for an investment firm, you know, in marketing and that, so she made some good commissions. But, you know, I'm not going to take anything away from her. She's done good. And that was, you know, so she has the experience to make that kind of a comment, that for me it was believable when I heard her say that if you can eradicate all your debt, you'll sleep really great at night, you'll be really happy in general in your life, and it has the effect of making you feel better than if you were making $200,000 a year. Because as you and I both know, there's, you know, many people that make $200,000 a year and they still have debt. They're still having to, you know, struggle a bit or fight through just like the rest of us. But anyway, that's why I mentioned her. You know, oh, well, what they all say, whether it's, you know, the guy there from Nashville, Ramsey or whatever his name is, and he's really good. He really works for me. Maybe because he's a guy too. But, you know, for whatever reason, it seems all these people that talk about money and that are, you know, kind of big talking about it on YouTube and that, they all have a faith, you know, in God, you know. And I mean, I go to Mass on Sunday. That's why I wanted to get my money and my intentional spending under control. You know, there's plenty of homeless shelters and food banks and churches and that feed the kind of homeless and helpless. And I mean, there's a lot of us that maybe at one time or another, especially when we're young, we're maybe a little bit helpless and homeless. I mean, it's different for guys. Guys can live under a bridge. You know, I mean, I think there's a difference between what's security for a guy and what's security for a gal. Okay, so I got that cut off there. So I've got the zipper. That's the old parts. I don't need them right now, so that's extra cloth. I can use this as a template to make a new zipper on the pieces I just cut. So that's as far as I'm going for now. And I'll get working on that again. So I'm getting started now. And there'll be another little video along shortly.